All right, so welcome back, everybody. We're diving deep today, and we love to uncover these sort of like hidden tactics. And today we've got one it's a legal strategy, but let's just say it's a little controversial.
It definitely raises some eyebrows.
It does. It does. We're talking about deny, defend, depose.
Patchy, right?
And there's a certain ring to it. And we're going to be pulling from, wouldn't you know it, a text actually titled Pasted Text.
Straight to the point.
Yeah, they didn't mess around with that title.
Yeah.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to unpack how this whole deny, defend, depose thing actually works.
Yeah.
Like what are the mechanics of it? And then we're going to look at whether it's, is it ethical? Is it fair?
Because there are definitely strong opinions on both sides.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then kind of the big question, how does this impact, the legal system as a whole? So pretty hefty stuff.
Big implications.
Yeah. So I guess, just to start us off, let's break down these three words, right? Deny, defend, depose. What's the action like implied in each one?
Okay, so deny, it's pretty much what it sounds like, right? You're straight up refuting any and all claims against you. No compromise, no admission of guilt.
So it's more than just saying, I didn't do it. It's like, nope, didn't
Yeah.
happen. Absolutely not.
Exactly. It's about setting a very strong tone from the get-go. And, if you've got a team of high-powered lawyers backing you up, it can be pretty intimidating, especially for someone who maybe doesn't have those kinds of resources.
Right. So you're already like shifting the power dynamic right there. Okay, so you deny and then you defend, right? What does that involve?
So think of it as building a legal fortress around yourself, right? You're bringing in expert witnesses, you're filing motions, maybe even countersuing. You're requesting tons of documents, basically anything to make the process as complex and as lengthy as possible for the other side.
So you're kind of burying them in paperwork.
Exactly. And all of this, of course, costs money. Lots of money.
Which not everyone has.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we get to the depose part. And this is where the pre-trial interviews come in, right?
Yeah, those depositions. And they can be brutal. Hours, sometimes even days of intense questioning, all designed to kind of, catch the other side slipping up, find inconsistencies, maybe even discredit them entirely.
I've heard stories about these depositions. It's like psychological warfare.
It can be. And, for someone like, let's say, a small business owner who's suddenly facing a lawsuit from a massive corporation, it can be incredibly draining, both emotionally and financially.
So you're not just fighting the legal battle, you're fighting like this war of attrition, right? Just trying to wear the other side down.
That's a good way to put it. And the goal oftentimes is to force the plaintiff to settle, even if they have a strong case, just because they can't afford to keep fighting.
Which, that brings up a lot of ethical questions.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very controversial tactic.
So, like, where do the arguments fall on this? Like, what do people say in favor of it, and what do people say against it?
Okay, so the people who support deny, defend, depose, they say it's all about ensuring a strong defense. Stuff.
Makes sense.
And that it helps to protect people and businesses from frivolous lawsuits, which, let's be honest, those do happen.
Yeah.
So they see it as like a shield against abuse of the legal system.
Okay, so they're saying it's a shield, not a weapon.
Exactly. But then you have the critics, right? And they say, hold on a second, this isn't a shield, this is a weapon.
Right.
And it's being used by the powerful to silence legitimate claims. They argue that in reality, a lot of people with valid complaints don't even bother pursuing legal action because they know they'll be up against this kind of strategy and they just can't afford it.
So it's like a deterrent.
Exactly. And, it raises the question, how many cases with real merit are being swept under the rug because of this?
So it's like this whole problem of access to justice, right? Like, if you can't afford to play the game, you don't get to play.
Exactly. It really highlights the imbalance of power within the legal system.
So, what can be done? Like, are there any solutions?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Some legal experts have proposed things like, limiting the length of depositions, setting caps on legal fees, or maybe even providing more resources for individuals who are going up against these kinds of tactics. But, it's a tough one.
Yeah, it's like, how do you balance the right to a strong defense with, ensuring that everyone has access to justice? It's complicated.
It is. And honestly, it's a conversation we need to keep having. The legal landscape is constantly changing, and we need to make sure that the system is fair and that it works for everyone, not just for those who can afford the best lawyers and the longest depositions. So I encourage everyone listening to do their own research, to learn more about this strategy and the arguments on both sides, because ultimately it's up to us as citizens to demand a system that is truly just.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of these deep dives, right? To give people the information they need to form their own opinions and to, maybe even push for change.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think that's about all the time we have for today. But this is a topic I think we'll probably be revisiting again because there's so much to unpack here.
Definitely.
But for now, thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.
See you then.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.